Jets Nation, welcome back to another Jets Media live stream. Today is a great day to be a freaking New York Jets fan. He fires it over the middle, touchdown! Garrett Wilson! The New York Jets tie the football game! It's a toss to Breece Hall. Breece Hall cuts up the middle. Breece Hall's loose! Breece Hall's gone! Breece Hall is gone! He walks into the end zone! That's a Jets touchdown! Sauce Gardner's there for the game winner! That's New York Jets, new era Robert Saleh football right there. Breaking news, the New York Jets got him! Aaron Rodgers is officially a member of the New York Jets! The vibe amongst this fan base is just a really awesome thing to watch our fans have a reason to be excited. This Jets team is ready to take flight this year.
We're going to show the world today what Jets football is about. Let's go. All we need is us. All we need.
I got high expectations for them, and you should too. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Let's go Jets. Jets.
Jets, Jets, Jets.
Let's go! Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? My name is Richie, and tonight we're breaking down Hard Knocks, episode number 2. It just got wrapped up a few minutes ago. I took a lot of notes, and I want to go through the entire episode and break down my thoughts. Get your guys' thoughts in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way into the live stream, baby. Man, was that another great episode of Hard Knocks. I have a lot that I want to break down in this video, man. So make sure you guys hit that like button on your way in. Spoiler alerts. We're going to be breaking it all down. Shout out Omar, man. Shout out everybody in the chat. Bro, there's a lot to take away from this. Whether it's my favorite part, I'll just give you guys my favorite part of this episode. And then we're going to go into detail what happened. I think my favorite part was Robert Saleh absolutely ripping apart the New York Jets offensive line after the joint practice against the Carolina Panthers. I love that from Robert Saleh. Want to know why? Because you know what the narrative was after episode 1 of Hard Knocks? And that the narrative has been about Robert Saleh since he got here, is that Saleh is too nice of a guy. That's always been the one thing people knock Robert Saleh. And I never really agreed with that. And he was on full display. Did he look like he was nice in that meeting room? No. We don't see Robert Saleh behind closed doors. And I'm so happy we have Hard Knocks to really expose the true Robert Saleh of who he is. He was ripping to shreds the offensive line in front of the entire team, bro. The entire team. He was hyping up the offense. It doesn't matter that we have an offensive rookie of the year. It doesn't matter that we have 2 $10 million+ million receivers. It doesn't matter that we have a Hall of Fame quarterback. It doesn't matter that we have dynamic players in the running game if our fucking offensive line is ass. Excuse my French. I'm just quoting the coach. And I am so happy that we saw that, because the biggest concern amongst the fan base is the offensive line. So I think the fans were watching that and we're probably thinking the same thing. Yeah, coach, you're right. Hold these guys accountable, because this offense is not going to be able to thrive without getting their shit together. Right? And that's no guarantee that the offensive line is going to be fixed, because we have a coach that's holding them accountable. And obviously, it's not a positive that the offensive line's bad. Right? Hold on. I paused a little bit. And obviously, I don't want to spin this into a positive that the offensive line's a bad, it's a good thing that we have a coach that's ripping apart a bad part of our team. I know that the offensive line has some struggles to work out, but I love it. He called them out in front of the whole team. He showed that their effort is lacking, and it's less of just talent. I think he called out their effort. That shows his leadership. That shows that the too nice of a guy narrative is just not true. And I loved it, man. Loved that part of this episode, and we're going to get deeper into that. So let's go from the beginning of the episode. I took notes throughout the entire thing, but before I show you guys my notes and we break it down, I was actually low-key featured on Hard Knocks. I'm sure you guys didn't see it because I was blurry in the background, but as you guys know, I was in attendance for the joint practice, and they did get a picture, or during the little montage of Aaron Rodgers' little, throwing the football around. I noticed it and I had to rewind it and pause it because they got me. They got me. There I am. Your boy made it. The Hard Knocks. So I thought that was funny. I saw, like, hey, the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. Hey, that's me in the back watching Aaron Rodgers. There I am. So that was cool to see. Nobody picked up on that but me. And obviously, it's blurry. It was a 1-second frame. There I am. But let's get into what happened. Let's start off with the first scene, which was the magician, bro. Whoa. The magic was something crazy. I've never seen. Why do I keep freezing, bro? Chill out, computer. Sorry for the technical difficulties. You guys can still hear me, though. It's all good. But listen, the first part of it with the magic tricks, that was a little hard to believe. I was like, what the actual hell is going on with this magic? We got Michael Carter thinking of a number, and they predict it right. Number 10. Hardman picking the Super Bowl, who they're versing, and the score, and the guy got it right. Rodgers picking a card. At that point, I'm thinking to myself, is this scripted? Like, how is this even possible, right? But that magic was a cool way to start it off. Then we go into the fights. I'm so happy that Hard Knocks finally got the fights, because in the first episode, we did not get to see the fights between the Jets in practice being highlighted. And being at practice many times as I've been, which I will be there tomorrow and Thursday again, there's been a lot of fights. So I'm happy that they finally showed us what's the details behind it. And man, another star of this episode was definitely Quinnen Williams, and I can't wait to break him down. But the fights were crazy. It's usually between the tight ends and the defensive ends. And Michael Clemens was throwing haymakers. We saw Jermaine Johnson say, hey, don't do that shit in practice, bro. I'll kill you, or something like that, dude. Jermaine was talking crap. I think that was the Wes Schweitzer. Saleh Thomas was getting in it. The defensive line and the offensive linemen are going after each other, bro. So the fighting scenes are great. Really cool to see, like, why are they fighting? Right? We know, in the trenches, they're going to start to fight, but it's cool to hear what's provoking it. Jermaine's a little pissed off. Yo, why you give me that extra push? It's practice, bro. Chill. So I thought that was cool, the fighting scenes. I got a lot of quotes that I wrote down that I want to break down. But there's a little cool part where Robert Saleh was actually talking with Woody Johnson during practice. And they were, talking about Quinnen Williams. And Saleh was saying, we go as he goes. And he said this: we would not have paid Quinnen if he wasn't the person he is. And now I think that speaks a lot about the philosophy and the culture of this New York Jets organization. Saleh mentioned JD and I would not have felt comfortable giving him the money that we gave him if it wasn't for the person that he is. The New York Jets are not just going to pay these players money because they're good football players. They really value character. And we can all agree Quinnen Williams is just an excellent human being. Excellent human being, just a great person on and off the field. And you could tell that some people get paid and then they get content. Quinnen Williams, that's not the case. He's still striving for greatness. So I do like what I heard from Saleh there, because it kind of embodies who this Jets team, culture-wise. Now, the next thing I want to get into is the Rodgers play action scene. When you got the quarterback room, that was really cool. They had side by side. The quarterbacks had to guess which one's a play action, which one's a handoff. And that is something that is really cool to see, because Aaron Rodgers is such a master at selling those play actions. And they're trying to teach Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle why it's so important to sell a play fake. And guess what? That touchdown throw from Zach Wilson to Kenny Yeboah was from play action, and he sold that play action very well. We're seeing a little bit of Rodgers and Zach Wilson that early on. The next part of the episode, we're going in chronological order, by the way. We're going to hit everything, I promise. Rodgers playing with the grass. I thought this was a cool little feature. I absolutely loved seeing the reason why Rodgers picks up the grass, because I've been at practice and I've noticed him doing that, and I always wondered why. So there's many reasons why he does that. Aaron Rodgers plays with the grass throws it up to see what the wind is blowing. He likes to make sure, like, okay, the wind's blowing towards us to the right. We got to throw the ball to the left, so we go over there. It's like a science. And it just shows you how much little things goes through the brain of a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. My favorite part of it was this. This is a Rodgers quote. Playing with the grass is also a meditation to connect with the elements and to just take a breath. Now, that is the type of thing that makes me really excited because that's just who Aaron Rodgers is. Now, that is who Aaron Rodgers is. He's mindful. He practices these types of things. And it's not a big deal or anything, but I just, as someone that, meditates, I think that was cool. He calls it a meditation. He's connecting with the elements. He's just connecting with, nature while playing football. That's cool. That's who Aaron Rodgers is, man. And I thought that was a little cool thing about that. Now, let's get into the Will McDonald little scene when they were at the piercing. They're at the tattoo parlor. That was cool. So we got to see a little side of Will McDonald that I don't think any of us really knew about. And then at the end of the episode, we saw the Will McDonald of the football player, which was, I'm sold on Will McDonald, by the way, to be like a star. I mean, the way they just did, I don't know. We got a lot to talk about Will McDonald, folks. But Will McDonald as a person, we learned a little more about him. He's not afraid to express who he is. He's getting piercings through his nose, through his eyebrows. He's like, hey, you only live one life. You live it to the fullest. I feel like Will McDonald is such a relaxed dude. He's so chill. He has a very peaceful mind. He doesn't let anything get to him. Another quote that I took from McDonald was, I approach games the same way I approach life. Because someone asked him, are you nervous getting this piercing the same way you're nervous on game day? He's like, I ain't nervous on game day. I approach game day the same way I approach everyday life. And when I heard him say that, I was like, damn, he's mentally advanced, bro. He's got it. He understands life. And I thought that was cool because Will McDonald looks like a damn beast. And at the end of the episode, since we're on the Will McDonald topic, I'll fast forward to the game, bro. Will McDonald looks like we just got a gem in the first round, folks. Will McDonald. Wow. I mean, we saw him get his first sack. Robert Saleh was pumped up. Even the damn Panthers opposing team was like, damn, you're going to be nice, bro. What college did you go to? He didn't even know who he was. He's like, what school you go to? Because you're nice. He called him what do you call him? Twitchy? What's the word he used? He used some type of word. But reality is, he's a beast. The way he got up off the turf was insane. I mean, that's something when we drafted Will McDonald, he jumps over cars. He's just a freakishly athletic dude. Shifty is the word. Thank you guys in the chat. Shifty is the word. Yes. He's a shifty athlete. And when we drafted him, all we hear is this guy jumps over cars. He can play basketball. He can play every sport. And then he's on the floor after, tackling a player. Tanzel Smart's trying to help him up. He's like, I got this. And he just springs himself up. And you see Saleh on the sideline. Did you just see that? Did you just see how McDonald got off? This guy is freakish. And then you see him on the turf. He's like, they're setting me up inside. I'm going to go outside. That tells you a lot about him as a player, as a rookie, understanding, adjusting mid-game. Okay, they're double teaming me inside. I got to go outside and do my unique bend. And that's when he get his first sack. And then it's fourth down. You heard him say, I got this. I got this. Does that elite spin move, sets it up outside, plants his foot in the ground, goes inside with that spin move, gets in the face of the quarterback, forces an inerrant throw, incomplete, turnover on downs. I mean, I think, folks, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we got a gem in Will McDonald. That was really, really cool to see. Jermaine Johnson as well, of course. They just didn't feature Jermaine on Hard Knocks, so that's the reason why I'm not bringing up Jermaine Johnson. But Jermaine also had big-time plays in that preseason game, and he looked really ferocious in that fight sequence when he's like, hey, don't do that shit in practice. I'll come after you. I'll kill you or something like that. I thought that was hilarious. But, man, we got two gems at the edge rusher position, folks, in Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson, both first-round picks in back-to-back drafts. Really, really cool stuff. All right, the next part that I want to get into, this is when we get into the joint practice against the Panthers. The star of this was Quinnen freaking Williams. While they're stretching, I love this. Quinnen Williams said to Coach Saleh, we don't hope, we know. Now, Saleh was hyping up his players like, you guys better believe you're going to do this. You better believe you're going to do this. And Q's like, we don't believe. We don't hope. We know. We're the number one defense. We know. Oh, my gosh. That hyped me up. And Quinnen Williams, his leadership of this defense is he's instilling a mindset that let's be the number one defense this year. They're even chanting after the huddle, number one defense on 3, 1, 2, 3, number one. Like they're manifesting being the best defense in the NFL. That is the standard they're trying to reach, which is really, really exciting. And then Quinnen Williams just took over the freaking practice. He kept screaming. He gets a sack. I'm him. I'm a fucking beast. I want 5 in a game. I can't wait for week 1. I mean, he was an absolute monster on the field. And we knew that coming after practice, after that joint practice, especially me being there, but really seeing the behind the scenes of hearing what he's saying, you can't block the man. He was determined. Jeff Ulbrich was like, this guy's unblockable. You see Jeff Ulbrich raving about the man in their own practice against each other. Like Quinnen Williams, guys, there's another level to his game that he didn't even get into. Like he was on another planet. And he was telling the coach, I want 5 in a game. I cannot effing wait for week 1, bro. Oh my God. It is really, really cool to see Quinnen Williams. He gets 11 sacks. He counted, just unblockable. Every time he lined up against the Panthers, quick little later up the middle. I mean, it didn't matter what he did. It looked like he was toying with them, toying with the offensive line. Get out of here. Sack, screaming. You heard him scream to the sideline, hey, Makai, I'm fucking him. Like, that's someone that you do not want to mess with in Quinnen Williams, and he's an absolute monster. I cannot wait to see what Quinnen Williams does this season because I think it's going to be better than next season, which is pretty wild because he was a damn all-pro. That is really cool. I agree with Rob here. I do want to give a shout-out to Jeff Ulbrich. I think that in Hard Knocks, Jeff Ulbrich has proven to be a darn good coach, man. I think that having a defensive coordinator that's that sophisticated, has that much leadership, even talking up Zach Wilson before the game, like he's just a really likable guy that is a really player-friendly coach. I really like Jeff Ulbrich, man. And honestly, Hennessy might be onto something. If this defense is number 1, he might be in the consideration of being a head coach. Honestly, he gives that head coach vibe. And I think a lot has to go right this year for this Jets defense. But if we are the number 1 defense and we have a successful season, he might not get hired, but he will probably get interviewed. And Jeff Ulbrich deserves his flowers. He's really impressive to me in the meeting rooms, like at halftime speeches. Like everything about Jeff Ulbrich has been really, really impressive for me. All right, let's get into the next part of the episode, which happened to be what we opened up the episode talking about, which was Saleh's speech after the joint practice, absolutely torching the offensive line, bro. Absolutely torching them. And this is just, listen, this isn't a good thing that our head coach is ripping apart our offensive line. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because all the narratives, all the people that say negative things about Saleh is that he's too nice of a guy. He's not going to hold his players accountable. This guy literally said the F-bomb 30 times in a span of 30 seconds, ripping apart the offensive line in front of the entire team. All the coaching staff, all the players, calling them the hell out. Calling them out. That's what good coaches do. Head coaches hold their teammates accountable. Hold the team accountable. They're not going to go, if Saleh was too nice of a guy, you know what he would have done? He would have went in the offensive line room with just the offensive line and said, hey guys, you got to do better. You guys are not doing good. You look at this film, go study it. He didn't do that. He called them out and embarrassed their asses based off of the entire performance they showed on film. And I absolutely love his message of saying, what do you want the film to show in 24 hours when you're in a dark room in silence watching yourself? What do you want to represent? You want to represent this organization. You want to represent yourself. I absolutely love that Robert Saleh had that approach because guess what? He's had that approach. He gave them that mindset. He talked to them harshly after joint practice. And then what happens against the Panthers in the preseason? Dominance. Offensive line, stellar. Offense, great. Defense, ferocious. That is head coaching. That's coaching. I know it's just a preseason, but it tells you a lot about Robert Saleh as a head coach, in my opinion. For a head coach to come out of the joint practice that upset with his team and then preaching to them, what do you want? What do you want yourself individually to represent on film? We're going to watch each and every single one of you your entire game. We're going to lock in on you, and we're going to judge every single play. What do you want that to represent? That message stuck with those players, and you saw it on the football field against the Carolina Panthers, man. You saw it. And they were dominating on all phases of the football, playing Robert Saleh style football, man. I love that, bro. I am growing to love Robert Saleh more than I ever thought I would. Not that I ever had any, things against him, but the one thing that even I was skeptical about, and some people were skeptical about, is that he's too nice of a guy. He doesn't hold his players accountable, and that's just proven to be false. Because nice guys don't do what the hell he just did, calling out his damn freaking offensive line in front of the whole damn team. I'm curious to hear what Talk Sports Radio got to say about that. Now, let's get into some funny stuff. The rookie show. What's your guys' thoughts of the rookie show? That was honestly hilarious. Everybody hated it. They were throwing freaking paper. I don't know what they were throwing at him. It looked like crumbled up paper. What is this BS? I think that's hilarious that they're like, bringing on the rookies. What's the word? Hazing them is the right word in terms like they're bringing on the rookies. They got to embarrass themselves and do funny, weird, out of their comfort zone. That was hilarious. And like, I think they put the rookies in that situation to be cringy on purpose. Like, there's no way that these rookies are going to go out there and put on a good show, right? And they're just being over the top. I think that it was just a great part of the episode for sure. And now let's get into the final part of the episode, which was the game against the Carolina Panthers. I want to start off with Zach Wilson. And I think Jeff Ulbrich going up to Zach Wilson was really cool. And him saying, hey, man, can you just do me one favor in this game? One favor. I want you to do one favor in this game. Smile. Just smile. See, that's why I love Jeff Ulbrich. He wasn't going to tell him a football thing. Hey, keep your head on a swivel, or focus on your footwork, or go through your progressions. Make sure you scramble. He didn't say any of that. He said smile. And I think that is a big piece to what this coaching staff and Aaron Rodgers is trying to do to help out Zach Wilson, is allow him to find the fun in the game. Because I think Zach Wilson got really stressed out with football, and you saw that on the next freaking scene, which was with Rob Calabrese, their quarterback coach. Zach Wilson starts screaming, "We're done being stressed about football. We're done being stressed about football." And he starts screaming and getting all hyped up. And I think that tells you a lot, because I think Zach Wilson was stressed about football because he stunk last year and he was all in his head and he got benched. And what does that do? That creates stress. And when you relieve the stress and you get through the stress, and then you play within yourself and you play with your abilities within, then that's when you become a good football player. And that's exactly what Zach Wilson did against the Panthers, right? He didn't light it up. He played within. He went through the offensive structure. They did successful stuff. And he called someone off sides, which was awesome to see. A little Aaron Rodgers in him. Green hot. And then someone goes off sides. Should have been a free play, but it wasn't. That was hilarious. But I think that quote of Zach Wilson saying, "We're done being stressed about football," to Rob Calabrese, that's something that I'm really going to hold on to, because I think that Zach is starting to have fun again. And I think the confidence that he has in himself is the key for Zach Wilson to be a good quarterback. And you heard Adam Thielen at the end of the game talk about that, man. It doesn't matter what the outside world says. It doesn't matter what people in this chat have to say negative to Zach Wilson. Believe in yourself, and that's all that matters. And that's with anything in life, man. Anything in life. And no matter what you guys do in your life, whatever job you have, whatever things you love to do, whatever your passions are, whatever makes you just overall happy, that's good for you. It doesn't have to appease anybody else. And that's the message just for Zach Wilson. Don't worry about anybody. All the critics are going to say this, and that. Stay true to yourself. Find the love of the game and go play your brand of football. And that's exactly what the message was. And it's exactly what Zach Wilson did. I love that. Absolutely love that. Now, throughout the game, it was really cool just to see Robert Saleh gushing over Will McDonald. And Will McDonald was probably the headline of the game in my eyes. When the opponent tell them, like, "Yo, you're nice. What college you go to? You're shifty. You're going to be good, man." I thought that was really cool. I love that Zach Kuntz got a touchdown and Rodgers is like, "You run the wrong route, you get the ball." So it wasn't Zach Kuntz ran the wrong route. And then Rodgers looked at Ron Middleton, the tight ends coach, like, "Good coaching, Ron," because, it's a joke in a way because his player, the tight end, ran the wrong route, but it still resulted in a touchdown. You saw Middleton's face. He was like happy, but still like conflicted. And then Tim Boyle, the quarterback, even knew himself. He came out there, said to the tight end coach, and then he's like, I know. So that was a cool little moment. Watching it from my perspective, I had no idea he ran the wrong route. He's freaking wide open for a touchdown. How do I know he ran the wrong route? I thought that was hilarious. Aaron Rodgers really showed like his coaching abilities and Aaron Rodgers also took like a back seat in this episode. And I think a lot of people, not Jets fans, but outside of Jets fans, were complaining like, oh, all they're doing is just like highlighting Rodgers. It's all about Rodgers. Well, this episode wasn't really all about Rodgers, in my opinion. We saw the Rodgers about the grass. That's really it. And then him as a coach on the sideline complaining, let him play. And then that little encounterment with the Panthers offensive line coach calling him fat because I think they're buddies. I thought that was funny. And you get to see more about who Aaron Rodgers is as a person outside of the football player. You see him really fired up on the sidelines. That's really cool to see. But my favorite Rodgers encounterment of this entire episode was probably the one with him and Mekhi Becton at the end. You saw a little 15-second clip, Rodgers and Mekhi hugging each other. And he was really proud of him. He's like, I'm proud of you, big fella. Let's grab some lunch tomorrow and let's chat. And that is what Rodgers is really trying to do here. He said it on Boomer and Gio this morning. You heard Rodgers say it in multiple interviews or wherever we've heard it. But Rodgers is trying to instill this philosophy in this team is don't get comfortable with the same couple of guys, right? When you're going in the facility and you're eating lunch, don't sit with the same 3 guys every time. Go out there and say this player is having a tough time in camp. Go to him. Hear him out, ask him questions, talk to him, learn more about him, develop a friendship. Rodgers wants to be plugged into the entire team, and he believes that when everybody's plugged in within each other, that's how good organizations thrive to the top. That is a different mindset, and that's something that really brings teams together and organizations together. But that Rodgers and Becton encounterment was cool because I think we can all agree as Jets fans that we're all rooting for Mekhi Becton to win the starting tackle job. And the fact that we saw Rodgers say, hey, let's talk. He's really putting him under his wing. He's believing in him. He's instilling confidence in him. That's great. That's awesome. We want Rodgers to go to Mekhi and help him out any way that he possibly can. I thought that was really, really, really cool as well. And that's really all I have in terms of my notes. Like I said, I broke down this episode and took notes throughout the entire thing because I wanted to break it down. I probably forgot some things, but overall, man, Hard Knocks is just a great job. Absolutely phenomenal job production-wise. The editing, the music, bringing all the hype together, making some drama here and there. They didn't highlight the Dalvin Cook signing. Maybe they'll save that for next week's episode because they don't really had a lot of time to edit it since, Dalvin Cook signing was last night. And, this episode was probably done a couple days ago in terms of the editing, and they're already working on next week's episode. But overall, man, excellent episode from Hard Knocks yet again. Different episode from episode number 1. One was kind of all about the introduction to the Jets and really talk about Aaron Rodgers and all that stuff. This episode was more, highlighting Quinnen Williams, highlighting Will McDonald, and really seeing what it's like with this team on the road against the Panthers, getting into the fights, bringing out some drama within it, and just highlighting the players that I think is poised for breakout things, man. And I think this Hard Knocks crew has done a phenomenal job so far with this, man. It's not creating any drama. It's not creating any distractions. And I think this is good, man, for us as a fan base because we're really getting to know this team more. That Robert Saleh speech was really telling, man. That was the biggest takeaway I had, no doubt about it, man. Again, not a good thing that our offensive line has stunk it up and joined practice, but the fact that we have a head coach that will hold his own players accountable in that fashion tells you a lot about him as a damn coach, bro. It really, really does. So that's going to wrap up this stream, guys. I got to get some sleep because I'm waking up early tomorrow morning. I'm heading to training camp with Jack. We're going to be there Wednesday. We're sleeping overnight in Jersey, and then we're going again Thursday. So I'll be at practice back-to-back days. Cannot freaking wait. Let's freaking go, baby. I cannot wait to be there. Jets and the Buccaneers join practice Wednesday. Then the Jets solo practice Thursday. If you guys are going to be there, let me know. I can't freaking wait. Also, if you guys need tickets, if you guys happen to not have tickets and you want to go tomorrow, let me know. I actually happen to have extra tickets for Wednesday and Thursday. So let me know if you're interested in going to practice tomorrow and Thursday, I have extra tickets. DM me. Let me know. Join my Discord as well. I'm actually going to put in my Discord right now because anybody in my Discord deserves the tickets, right? I'm going to put it in there. Anyone needs tickets for tomorrow or Thursday, let me know. All right. So if you guys want tickets, join my Discord. Links down below in the description, and I'll let you guys know. So appreciate you guys. I got to get some sleep. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's go Jets. Hard Knocks was freaking amazing. Red John, I did not see this donation. My apologies, Red John. Just seeing it now. Did you see your boy TD and Jake Asman's intro? I did not see that. Did he clip the one of him saying where are the Jets' flaws? I got to check that out. But all right. Catch you guys later. Enjoy your night. Peace.